Number one, you won't believe how much I spent on this driver when I started playing golf. And number two, you won't believe how much you can get it for now. That is hit hard. Guys, how you doing? Welcome back to a brand new video. Simon down here at Burford Golf Lab. I'm going to answer the question all on your minds. Simon, why is there a massive dent in the back of your driver head? Well, let me show you the successful one and then obviously the failure.
Oh, that went. I've hit the back of my driver, absolutely crunching it.
So it's about 3 years ago, I saw JT Laybourne's viral trick shot. I'll put a link to his Instagram page here. And I wanted to do something similar, but I wanted a 360 version. I caught it, but rather than catching it plumb out the middle, I caught it straight out the back. And if you wanted to know how resistant the back of your driver head is, it's not very. And it didn't even cross my mind that I could do that. And obviously when I did it, I'm just looking at my driver. I wasn't actually using this driver at the time, which is the most ridiculous statement, as I'm going to tell you how much money I spent on this driver, and probably the same cycle a lot of us get sucked into. But this wasn't my driver at the time. This was something that was just at home. This is why I was using the drive. But even I could have snapped this shaft, and I spent so much money on this shaft. And the combination overall, but that's why I want to get it out. I want to test it today, see if the dent's done any damage to the numbers. Does it sound different? So the background of getting fit for this driver, my driver before this one was the Cleveland Highball. I actually did a video on this recently, not the one that I had, but one of very similar, which I got 30 quid off Facebook and did a review and then gave away. And mentioning that, Claire Masson, you actually won that giveaway, so I've actually replied to your comment. Just send me your email and I'll give you some details and I'll get that shipped out to you. But I was starting my journey to get my handicap down below 4 so I could start my PGA. I wanted to be a golf coach, there was no question about that. And I think at the time my handicap was around 10. And I spoke to my golf coach and I said, I want to get a new driver. And he said, I'm going to take you to this place to go and get custom fitted. And I was very excited and looking forward to obviously getting fitted into the Titleist driver, because the 913 was actually one of the better selling drivers at the time. It was the 915 and 917. I think Titleist just kept repeating the same old, and with TaylorMade and Callaway bringing out new shiny, higher launching, lower spinning combinations, the other versions got put to the wayside. But at the time, Titleist was the driver I wanted, and it's the one I wanted to get fitted for. So I went down to Basingstoke to see Jason McNiven, very credible man. Really nice guy, knows his stuff, spent a long time on the TaylorMade tour truck, and he set up this like indoor simulator in this kind of warehouse, which is basically golf porn. You go in there, heads, thousands of shafts, and he knows his stuff. And it's just a great experience, even if you don't ever go and buy a driver, because you are going to be walking away with a driver that's like 700 pounds. Even if you don't buy a driver there, for example, it's just a great experience just to go and see what it's like. So I went in there, I wanted the 913, I didn't want to try any other head, so obviously he's now going great. I've only got one head to fit with, and I now know his pain. And I wanted something heavy, I wanted something stiff. Obviously I had a fast swing, I've always had a fast swing, but it's always been erratic. So we need to find a combination to give myself as much distance as possible, but also dispersion. And it came out with this, the UST Fire Element shaft, and it looked badass. I think that's probably the thing that won me over more than anything else. And we went for the D3 head. D3 Titleist, so this is a more forgiving head, no D2 sorry, D2 the more forgiving head out of the two. You can get the D3, which is more of like the smaller, lower spinning, but at the same time I was off 10, I was hanging it all over the place, I needed forgiveness, and we went 10.5, lofted it down. And I was really happy, I was ecstatic, and I do want to go into talk, I do want to talk to you guys about getting custom fitted, club fitting, and just being proud and having pride over your golf club. But that pride did come at a cost, because memory serves me right, and I can't remember exactly, but I got a 5-wood and a driver shaft, which came to about £500, and I believe the I think the 3-wood shaft was 210. This driver shaft was £290. And I got Pro's own use, I think, on the head, on the driver. I think I got it for about 200 something pounds, 220 maybe. So this overall combination of driver and shaft cost me a grand total of about £500, plus the 5-wood I got as well, because I didn't necessarily need the distance, but I needed the control. So I spent all of about £800 altogether. And first of all, thank you to Jason, because normally he'd sell the driver head, and the driver head would have been 320, 350 quid at the time. But obviously I just wanted to buy the shafts for him, and you can't get the shafts anywhere. But obviously nowadays, 5-6 years later, you can. So let's talk about it. Now obviously I've already checked this out, but I want to show you exactly what you can get this driver now, this shaft, for £59. Actually, this is probably the better one, because you can choose which shaft you want. My one, I don't actually think you can get my one with this guy, but anyway, it works out. So for example, if it says 6, that's how light the shaft is. So it's a 60-gram shaft X stiff. This is an 80-gram shaft X stiff, so obviously slightly heavier, but I highly recommend the shaft. I love the way it looks, I love the way it feels, it did the job. And by the way, I'm not complaining about how much money I spent on the driver. It was so important, it was my life. I had to get down to 4 and below. I was spending 30 to 40 hours a week outside of my job in the pro shop to get my handicap down. I was wedge play, bunker play, putting, driver, hundreds of balls, hours on the golf course. I wanted to make sure that I left no stone unturned. And whether this shaft combination at the time contributed to that, the placebo effect, I was the world's best driver after that. I hit so many fairways, I hit it so much further, because I had so much confidence in the golf club, which makes it so stupid why I took it out of the bag. But that being said, yes, I spent a fortune on this driver, and I don't knock anyone that spends a lot of money on their golf clubs, but at the same time, you've got to weigh it up with how much time and effort you're putting into this game, how important is this game to you. Don't just go and buy and spend a lot of money just because you feel you need it just to start the game. Anyway, I got sidetracked there. So shafts wise, you can pretty much get this shaft. Tell you what, I might just buy their stock. I might just build drivers and just sell them for double the money, because I could build a shaft for 200 quid and it's going to be just as good as a lot of this stuff out here. Like that toy issue tailor-made, 8.5, like that would be so good for me. 50 grams, that's light. Anyway, again, getting sidetracked. So, driver shaft, let's say 60, 70 pounds. 913 head, driver, tight list. Let's have a look. 30 quid, 50 quid. So, 74 pounds with the shaft as well. That's from Golf Clubs for Cash. So, let's say market value, you're probably going to get these for about 50 pounds, 60 pounds or best offer. So, again, you're probably getting that for about 50 pounds, depending on condition. So, overall, we could spend 60, 110 pounds, 120 pounds comfortably to now buy this driver without a dent. So you can get one without a dent, which would be nice. This combination for about 120 pounds, probably slightly less depending on what the condition's like. And this is an unbelievable driver. And the reason I said that I'm an idiot is because I swapped this out of the bag, because when I was at Sanford, they had a deal, because we had so many demo sets. The pros there also got a free bag. So we used to borrow it for the year. So I had RSI TP irons, I had R15 driver, 3-wood, rescue, putter. I had the full bag and I rented it. And because it was new, I basically put this to one side. Which is stupid, because you spend so much money on getting fitted for something that you know is right, and then I wouldn't do it now, but at the time I was like, oh, new shiny must be better. And I just had a standard stock stiff shaft in it, which again, mind-blowingly stupid. But what I want to find out today is, how does this perform? How much can we still get out of it? What kind of ball speeds does it produce? How far can I hit it? Does the dent make a difference? Does it sound any different? And to be honest, the great thing is that if you've got a relatively fast club head speed, you could get this in your hands, this combination, which I've tried, tested, played with, and I know it's unbelievable. Shaft's great for 120 pounds. Okay, let's talk him. Let's give it a hit. Let's see if this dent makes any difference out the back of the head. Let's see if we can get some high 170s, maybe 180 ball speeds on this combination. See how far this bad boy goes. I think that's just a bit spinny. I mean, I've hit that really well, but I think it's too much spin. It's going to stall it on the way down. 177 ball speed out the back. Simon, you're getting faster. He's found the middle. He's hit it hard. You can see how high that ball's launching though. It's almost killing the distance because with the right amount of spin, that's a 330, 340 yard drive there. 177 ball speed again. That is hit. That is hit hard. Go. Go. Longest one yet. 326, ball speed 185. That is a personal best with a standard length driver for me, ladies and gentlemen. There's not an epic flash, there's not a TaylorMade M5, there's not a single club that's come out this year that I've hit better than that. And I'm not saying that it's the club, because I've got faster as I've been training, which is great for me because I can see progress. But I mean, it's not going to be that much different. Obviously, if I had a Callaway Epic Flash head here, or if I had an M5 head here, it would have produced just similar ball speeds. But the timing, the launch on that, again, spin was slightly a bit higher than I wanted at 2,900. You drop that down to like 1,700. That's a 360 yard drive right there. Launch angle was good, sounded really good. I'm excited. It's working out because obviously GC2 doesn't measure club head speed. Saying the club head speed there was 127, and that's on obviously 40. I think this is actually slightly shorter than standard. Let me find out. One of my comp drivers, and it's probably about 2.5, 3 inches shorter, and that's set at 47.5. So I think this is half an inch shorter, just to give me well, at the time it was to give me a bit more consistency. But that's in. I want to. Let's get faster. Come on. It's only a few balls in. 184.7. I think that's going to be too high, too spinny, but in terms of like just swinging the club as fast as I can, that's fast, that's quicker. 304, 183 ball speed. Come on, I want a 185. Bottomy. Bottomy. 185, pull hook, that's awful. I'm still 184.87. Faster than last time, but still. And also, horrendous drive. This is it, last drive to beat 185 miles an hour. We've got to give it everything. Out the toe. Might go a mile. It's definitely not being 185 though. Oh. God damn, this is a good driver. 184.9 was the max ball speed I could get it. And again, I haven't tried to max out these drivers for a while. So I imagine I'm going to probably get 185, 186 out of some of them, especially with the lower lofts. This is set at 9.75. If I lofted this down to 7, again, or got a driver head that was like 8.5 and lofted down to 7, I'm going to get more ball speed, I'm going to get more distance, but that's just out of the nature of my training. Not many people would need that. But overall, still a great combination. The fact you can get it for 120 quid is mind-blowing. And again, it's interesting to see, you can do this again with like your, say you've got an M2 in the bag, or say you've got a Callaway XR, for example, and you're like, I've got better, I've got stronger, I've got faster, I feel like I need a stiffer shaft. This isn't a bad shaft for you to go and just try it for 70 quid, put it in the end, they'll get a professional to put it in the end there. It's probably going to knock down a bit of spin, it's probably going to give you a bit more control, rather than necessarily going straight out and buying a £450 driver, because our swings change more than the technology. If we look at the improvement in technology over the years, it's like this, wherever our swings like this. So you got to try and fit for your swing, not necessarily with the technology that's out there. Anyway guys, I'm off to now and go bid against you to go and try and find a nice 913 head to whack back on this driver so I can put it back in the bag. If you like this video, leave it a like. As always, subscribe if you are new. Catch you guys later.